Okay, good evening, everyone. Camera feels a little zoomed in for some reason. That was a little better. All right, Luna. Hey, glad to see you're already here. Monica, good to see you as well. We got a few more people drifting in. Hope everybody's got their coffee. No problem, Tara. Go make some tea. It's good for you. Early bird today. Hey, nothing wrong with being early. I actually lost track of time. I was doing some other work, and then my alarm went off that gave me the 2-minute warning. So it was a mad dash to get to the setup. Not my best one. Luckily, looks like the microphone and everything's working. So I actually made it on time. What are the odds? Okay, so as more people drift in, hopefully, because we only got 4 people, might be an easy or a slow night. We'll see. Hopefully, more people do drift in. It has been a good week here. Been very busy. Been getting a lot of things done. Try to remind me. I do have an announcement toward a little bit later. Announcement I think some of y'all will really like. Of course, for those who do follow the channel, I would like to remind those and the new people, we do have an online school. You can pop over there at workingdragonmystic.com. We have online classes. Dragon Magic 101 and 102 are definitely the most popular. An amazing meditation class, as well as a free arcane sight class to help you develop your arcane sight and arcane senses. And we will be adding a lot more classes later. Ona Chang, good to see you. Glad you can make it. I got a lot of great feedback from this week's vlog. A lot of great people commenting and saying actually it hit on mark. It was something they needed, which is great to know. Emika, welcome. Jade, good to see you. J-Moo, hey, good to see you. Welcome. Glad you can make it. So definitely the vlogs are working out. I wasn't sure how y'all would feel about those since they're not necessarily scripted. They're just what randomly pops in my mind to shoot and chat about that particular week. And, also get to share a little research that I'm working on. So that's good. I have had a lot of people asking me more about the Goetic spirits and am I doing a video on this spirit or that spirit? I am doing a video on each and every one of the 72 Goetic spirits. We are going to do them in order just so I don't lose track and miss one. So that's a logistics thing. I know many of you are looking for specific spirits or your favorite spirit. You want to see the videos done on those. And believe me, I know how it feels because I want to get to some of my favorites as well. But if I start skipping around, I will forget and miss spirits and forget where I'm at. KRY, welcome. Let's see, and Mika, bro, I love the job you're doing. Give my channel a shout out. Had to. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. I will have to check your channel out, Amika Williams. Take a look at it, see what it is. I will take a look for sure. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Gesumi or Gesum. I apologize if I'm messing that one up. What are your thoughts on the veil and superpowers on the physical realm? I'll be honest with you, when it comes to superpowers on the physical realm, Outside what we know our bodies are capable of within the realm of science, I'm not a big believer in that we're likely going to have them or find them. The way magic shows to have manifested and manifest, I just don't particularly see superpowers as a high probability. In theory, it's always possible. In theory, but that is not where I would personally want to put my time and efforts due to the extremely improbability of the fact of superpowers in the physical realm. And I have spent a lot of time traveling and meeting with people who claimed such superpowers and would even teach you such superpowers. And every person I've traveled and met, they've been debunked, every single one of them. So, yeah, it's not really one that I put on, and I guess it also depends on what you define as a superpower. But when you say superpowers, I think flying, superhuman strength that's beyond the capacity of what the physical frame can actually handle, as well as fireballs, lightning bolts, and all these more fictional uses of magic. Welcome back, Tara. Angelica, welcome. Glad you can make it. Luna found the perfect combo for this stream. Tea and the Howling Fjord ambient sound in the background. Well, hey, Luna, if it works, it works. Lena, welcome. Cheryl Fortuna, need dragon protection. Welcome, Cheryl. I'll see what I can do about sending a little protection your way there, Cheryl. I hope things get better, whatever's going on. Amiga, when it comes to hexing enemies, if an enemy has wronged you, I don't care whether it's in the physical or magical, a person has a right to defend themselves and a right to justice. And if it comes down to it, I would view hexing as a perfectly legitimate tool within your toolbox in order to deal with a particular enemy or negative individual coming at you. I'm not a big person on the threefold law. I actually view the threefold law as a self-imposed curse and limitation. But that's more of a spiritual and religious thing, which I approach magic from more of a science. So yeah, I'm totally okay with hexing. You hurt one of my friends or family, I won't hold back. I'm a pretty protective individual. Lena. Hi, finally here live. Normally fall asleep before now. It's 1 a.m. here in Sweden. Wow, Lena, 1 a.m. in Sweden. Well, welcome. Mugs up to you. Thank you for joining us from Sweden. And I'm glad you could join us live too. Cloud gazing. Hey, good to see you. Doing pretty good here. It's been a busy week. Cheryl Fortuna, thank you. I'm ready to jump into the course next week. Awesome. You are going to have a lot of fun with that course, Cheryl. You really are. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, before I forget, because people's going to jump me if I don't say this, because y'all tend to remind me. Because, yeah. Make sure you hit the thumbs up and give the stream a like. It helps out the channel a lot. The YouTube algorithm loves when y'all hit that like button. So make sure you smash that like button here. Let's see, Emeka, what's the best method or instrument of hexing in your ocean of knowledge? That's actually an interesting question. And really, I find it depends magician to magician. Different magicians tend to resonate and work better with different instruments. Some people work really well with energy alone, and they can sling a really powerful hex with energy alone. Some people can. Are y'all hearing that noise by chance? I think the heater just kicked on. If that's coming through the stream, let me know and I'll try and shut it off. But so as far as the singular best, it differs from person to person. Everyone is a little different. Some people actually find candle magic to be a perfect medium for hexes. Some people find cord magic to be a perfect medium for hexing. Clay and earth magic are fantastic in many cases. What's often known as box or container magic, great. Of course, we can't talk about hexes without talking about bone style magic. Those are a very big favorite. Yeah, so I mean, it really, poppet magic is a very popular one as well. So it really depends on the magic, the person, where they're, what they gravitate toward and what they're most comfortable with. Because if you put your time into it and you work at it enough, you can get equal results from all the different tools and instruments available to you, if that makes sense. Angelica, 2 a.m. here. Hello, fellow Europeans. You know, it is amazing to know I have viewers and the community reaches so far. You all are really amazing. And thank you for staying up to watch these streams live and join us. That is amazing. This will go show my age, but I used to watch like USA Up All Night when all the bad movies were on, you know, like Crypt Keeper and all the Elvira's and Mystery Science Theater, you know, that kind of stuff. And now here I am. I'm that guy people stay up to watch. Who would have thought that, huh? Makes one kind of proud. See here, One-Chan. Question. I have had a lot of spirits approaching me lately as I develop my psychic senses. Why do you think that is? Oh, that's an easy one. Also, remember, we do have the super chats and the stickers. So if you make a small donation, if for some reason your question's not getting answered or not being seen, because it is hard for me to keep up with the chats, you can make a small donation. It flashes it up really big and make sure I do see it. I forgot to mention that earlier too, so let me go ahead and mention that. But the reason being, the way magic works, and this is why people tell you don't get into magic unless you're sure you're wanting it. You don't dabble, because when the door opens, you can't close it. There is no closing the door. And the more you become aware of the multiverse and the entities around you, the more they become aware of you, because now they know you can pay attention to them. They like attention. They like to socialize. They like to be around people and entities they can interact with. So as you open up more to be able to see them and interact them, they also notice that you can now notice them. And that does tend to draw them to you because of that. It's a natural phenomenon. And this is why a lot of magicians say once you open that door of understanding, you can't close it, because even if you want to close it, the rest of the multiverse, it now sees you as someone with those abilities. Let's see, Jamu, could AI use magic? Ooh, Jamu, that's an interesting question. Generally speaking, the way AI is written at this point in all the AI research I've done, Jamu, let me put that out there. AI does not actually have a will of its own. It uses a system set of logic and parameters in which it's programmed with. Even if it has learning parameters, it's still limited to the parameters that are given to it by the creator. And therefore, as a machine, it doesn't specifically have an actual will. So that would be a limiting factor that would cut it off from the use of magic. But the big one, from my work with the multiverse and the concept of magic, something actually has to have genuine sentient consciousness similar to a soul and a will. There are tales within the multiverse of soulless things that have a will of their own, but no soul, that could harness minor, very, very minor magics, the kind of stuff we do accidentally even when we're not practitioners, but that would be where they would cap out. But to go past that, you need both soul and will. So in theory, probably not. Probably not. Which is good. That means we won't have a Skynet magical travesty. Let me go. Thank you. I'm watching from Nigeria, 12 a.m. Nice. Thank you for staying up to join us. Nigeria. Wow, that is we got a lot of people from all over the place. Let's see, Blake Clegg. Will you also talk about the angels in the lesser key of Solomon, or just the 72 demons? To demon gods. Actually, we are wanting to start on a series of angels. Which angels we're wanting to do the series on, we're not 100% sure. We are considering talking about some of the angels within the Goetia as well. But we are wanting to start a series on angels. We are starting to work on a script for those different things, Blake. It's just right now we have so many videos and so many topics that to manage to get all these out, I probably have enough topics to get me through the next 2 years. So, which is a great problem to have when you run an information channel like this for viewers, because that means there's going to be no shortage of information to give you all. So I am limited in what I can do by time, but we are working on it to get those out as quick as we can. And when we're going to start them, we're actually in discussions of when we want to launch the first angel video, because we were actually considering starting a series on angels here very soon. And then we realized all the holidays are coming down the pipeline on us right now. So we're also trying to get the holiday videos done and ready, so they'll be there in place for people who want to work with the holidays and learn about those. So we're trying. But yeah, we do have plans to do some videos on some angels. In fact, I would actually want to have, this is my personal goal, I want to have 72 videos of 72 good, solid angels to work with to balance out the 72 goetic entities. I just think that would be a really great way to balance out the two playlists, in my opinion. That's a goal for myself there. Let's see, cloud gazing. You have Monday off because of Memorial Day. Can I get a hallelujah? Just kidding. Well, congrats on having Monday off. Enjoy your Memorial Day. I'll definitely be doing a little celebrating and helping out some friends. It is a great day of remembrance. I actually always tend to do a little ritual work for Memorial Day about remembering the fallen and stuff. It's a really great way to do that. So that is actually what I tend to do on Memorial Day. I make sure that the ritual of remembrance is done to honor the fallen. Now, I do still do the cooking. I do still do the barbecues, and that's because I celebrate the loved ones that we've lost, and they would, if they were still with us, they'd still be celebrating. So I do that. So we will be doing some kind of a cookout or something on Monday, but we will also be doing a ritual to honor them. It's a big thing for me. But definitely, if you do get Memorial Day off, enjoy it. And for those of you who don't, I will definitely say a prayer for you, and I appreciate you going to work and keeping this crazy old world running, while some of us can honor the others that have fallen. So it takes us all to keep the thing spinning. I'll be working Monday. For me, it is a work day. The cookout, everything, it will end up being a work day for me. I'll be giving my time to those, to honor those who serve and who have given their lives. Let's see here. Where are we? Seeing how do I awaken my second senses? Go to the videos after the stream and type in arcane senses. I have a video that literally talks about the arcane senses and how to begin training them. Then you can also look for a video called the Astral Sanctum. That's a great way to construct an Astral Sanctum, and it really utilizes all your arcane senses in doing so, and spending time there will train them. Also, if you go to workingdragonmystic.com and click on courses, we have a complete in-depth video course focusing on arcane sight, and it's absolutely free. So all those resources are available for free to help you develop your arcane senses. How potent is coffee and candle magic for compelling works? I have found it to be extremely potent. Interesting thing though there, Emir. I've always found coffee to get really rapid results and success anytime I've used it in spell work and candle magic, because you've probably seen it here on the page, but I have a actual money spell here that utilizes candles and coffee. But I did the spell one time. I asked a buddy to pick up some coffee, and he did so, and it worked, but the spell was so sluggish. There was just something off about it. And I asked him about it, and he's like, "No, I got coffee," and he brought the container. It was decaf. So honestly, every time any of my spell work with coffee has been sluggish, it was with decaf coffee. But regular coffee seems to have worked extremely well. I'm actually wanting to start an experiment to see if regular coffee works. Does the differential in the regular coffee make a difference? Like, you have your regular coffees, then you got like your highly caffeinated coffees, and I'm wondering if those would actually produce a quicker or faster result. So that is something I'm looking into researching in the near future. But I have noticed that it works very, very well, and it's quite compelling in its work. And we jumped. Okay, we're jumping. That means we are, yep, okay, I'm falling behind now. 72 dragons. Actually, there is a plan to do a 72 dragons grimoire or pathworking of some kind. Let's see. Oni-chan, could you give my channel a shout out? I make a lot of random stuff, but most of it's anime related, but I'd love to know your thoughts. Yeah, I'll give it a check out for sure, Oni-chan. I don't get down the anime rabbit hole too often, but you know what? I have a little free time this weekend. I'll check it out for sure. See what I can find there, and see about giving you a shout out. Of course, anybody is interested in anime or random topics, you know, pop over and look at Oni-chan's channel, see what he's got. We gotta help each other out in this crazy world. Peachy, welcome. Glad you can make it. Hope your move is going well. Cheryl, would love to astral on demand or at all. Do you have a course on astral travel? Cheryl, we are actually working on an astral travel and soul travel course. I do teach astral travel and soul travel with private students, but I'm working on the logistics of getting it into a video course format. And as soon as I do, it will be filmed and available. We're just working on the logistics. That is definitely one we want to get up on the school soon. So yeah, we do have a video on astral travel that can get you started a little bit. And check out the Astral Sanctum video. The two of them really go well together to get you doing some astral travel work. And actually, when you get started in the Dragon Magic 101 course, there's actually a lot of sections in there that teach you astral travel because the class does work on it. So some of the astral travel techniques are actually going to be in there and built on as well. So you'll actually pick up on a lot of that during the Dragon Magic course also. So plus on that. But we won't unless the dragons get into soul travel via 103 or 104, I don't think we'll be covering soul travel in the dragon magic courses. But the astral travel will be covered. Chara, yeah. Will I be doing any videos on King Belial? Oh, yeah. Belial is actually one of the Goetic spirits I'm really looking forward to. I love working with Belial. Many of my private students know Belial is a go-to guy for me a lot. So, yeah, we will be doing a video for Belial. Alba Bound. I hope I said that right. If I'm not, I apologize if I messed the names up, people. Love the rune videos. Oh, glad you like them. Glad you like them. That the rune course playlist was, I think that was a successful experiment. I really do, people. We got a lot of compliments on that. And speaking of courses and everything, that I told you that we had an announcement. But before I do, I got 25 people in here, and it looks like only 17 likes. Come on, people, give me a thumbs up. I deserve some thumbs ups and some more coffee. Let's get those likes up. Let YouTube know you actually do enjoy the channel. So myself and a few of my colleagues have sat down and we're trying to figure out what I'm going to do. As you know, when I started this channel, I used to teach a lot of students one-on-one. I used to do more traveling, and logistically, I can't keep up with it, and the channel's growing to the point I don't want to limit it. And many of you, I think a few people even here in the stream tonight, have asked for private lessons, and I have a growing backlog of lists for people I take on in apprenticeships, and that list is growing. It is just growing. So we are already sitting down in talks on working on a new live class model that would allow me to reach more people and do more one-on-one teaching via whether it be web chats or something like that. We're going to work out the details on that. And we are going to make those available so that we can actually do it. So instead of going into like a full apprentice style course, which is what I originally done, I'm actually going to look to seeing how many slots I could make available per month to do. Like if you wanted to learn, well, let's use the example of astral travel or soul travel. I could focus on a student with that and do a quick one-on-one session where they get 2 or 4 classes with me, and we can work on it and see if we can't get you to where you're going or get you started in your studies through kind of a short, focused teacher-student thing. And we're also in talks about doing group classes as well for things such as this. So we are working on that. We are working on the logistics of it. We're trying to figure out how we're going to make this happen. But I know many of you are wanting these style of classes, and we are wanting to try and get back to reaching people in that manner in some way. So stay tuned to that. We are working on it. We are trying to find a way. We're doing everything we can to make that happen and grow Working Dragon Mystic to meet the needs of the people we are trying to reach and the seekers. Because that's why we're here. We're here to help the seekers. So if there is a need that we can attempt to fill, we're going to try and do our best to actually do that for you all. And even the live classes, because I already made this clear with everyone and my colleagues. When I do these live classes, they will be affordable. I'm not going to do any of these. You see these people, it's like, come out and spend a day or week with me for $1,000. No, horse crap. No, we're going to make these completely affordable. So I'll do my best to keep you all posted on how we're coming with working out the logistics of them, but they will be coming. As long as we don't hit a technological problem, but I don't think we will. The term purple magic Jamu is actually generally a modern term. It's just, and it's been applied to 4 or 5 different styles of practice. It's not a specific magic. It's not like evocation, invocation, or something like that. It's a modern term that's been applied to different things. One of which is astral. One of which is chakras. One of which is the indigo child concept that people talk about these days. Some of it is to deal with just energy workers, and I've even heard it applied to Reiki, which I don't get. But so yeah, it's a modern term. So I don't really use it, and I've not seen anything to identify it as a specific. Like I said, everyone just seems to kind of tack it on. But so I don't really have a good answer for you on that one. I apologize, Jamu. Oni-chan, take it easy. Have a good night, mate. Let's see. Cheryl Fernanda, how about working Dragon Mystic camp in person, or would that be no good? Cheryl, actually, I'm not even gonna lie. There has been discussions about doing like a working Dragon Mystic gathering camp out or something like that with workshops. That actually has been discussed. And I'll be honest with you, I love the idea. I absolutely love the idea. We'd have to limit the head count. We'd have to find a location, and we'd have to figure out the fiscal responsibility, because then you got group event insurance and stuff like that you got to carry. But that has been on the table and talked about time and time again. And I'll be honest with you, I want to make it happen. I want to make that happen some way. That does seem to be like a future project. We're not really having a way to open that door just yet, but I will tell you straight on, that is something I want to make happen. That is. So if I can make that happen, Cheryl, we will make that happen. That is definitely a long-term goal for me. And I'd actually like to make it long-term, like, a couple years. So not too, we'll just have to see what we can do. Infernal Parents is a traditional concept. It's not necessarily it's based around specific traditions. Not everyone has infernal parents. And actually, well, it's not infernal parents. It's more of the entities that tend to direct you or guide you or take on a parent-like adoptive role within those traditions. And all those traditions are traditions in which I don't really claim the traditions. I understand them and know how they work, but I also tend not to teach from them, because I try to respect different traditions. Let's see. Earth Dragon. Something interesting happened yesterday. I was meditating and had a vision. Not imagined, since I had no control of it, and Thor coming to me and inviting me for a drink out of the blue. It happened at random and wasn't planning on doing any type of deity work. What are the best steps to take when contacting and giving offerings to Thor? Think he may want to help me with obstacles. Okay, Earth Dragon, check out our contacting a deity video on the channel, and also check out the hailing ritual or hailing rite video here on the channel. Because that is a actual Nordic setup ritual, but it works with pretty much any practice. But the hailing ritual is a great way to reach out and contact Thor. Thor is freaking easy to work with. If you just show him friendship, gratitude, and reach out to him and give him the time of day, he is easy to work with. Now, you want to bring him a beverage, whether it be cold water or a cold beer or even just some food, and any food. He loves food. Well, he loves beverages too. Any beverage. Like I said, you can bring him water. He is extremely grateful for these things, because that is, you're inviting him into your workspace and you are showing him hospitality. And to him, because he is very much a blue collar deity, especially when you read the edits. There's a lot of myths and everything of him just helping the common people. You offer him anything like that out of hospitality and friendship, he is all over it like white on rice, and you will be solid. He is very, very approachable. J-Moo, bless you for making things affordable. Cheryl, God bless you for making things affordable. You know what? That was one of the goals I set out. That's one of the things I said when I did this. If I'm going to teach, I want it to be available to everyone as best I can, because most people I know come to Magick. Usually money's one of the first things that drives them here, if it's not just raw curiosity, which generally tells me they ain't got $1,000 to drop on some crazy stuff. And let's be honest, if the magician actually believes in what they're saying, why do they have to charge $1,000 to spend the day with you or something? I mean, yeah, I manifest my prosperity pretty well, and most of what I charge, honestly, it helps recoup my cost for labor and materials and stuff like that. So I do what I can to keep everything affordable to make it available to y'all. Cloud gazing Thor sounds like an amazing individual. He is. He really is. Thor is kind of that rowdy, good time loving individual that you can just sit and have a drink with anytime. Good day, bad day, it doesn't matter. He's willing to be there for you. He's a hoot. He really is. See, Blake, I was wondering your thoughts on magical beings and creatures being completely physical, because when I read old stories, it seems like this is what many cultures believed, like Atlas and Celia. There are many things in the myths that do talk about them in ways that does make them seem very, very physical. And some entities will even claim that there was a time where they did choose to occasionally walk the material plane. But there also was a time where basically the multiverse as a whole decided to pull away from this plane due to human stupidity, dragons included. So, and actually, the Fae were one of the last ones to pull away. They tried to stay very, very close to this land. So, there are occasionally reports of possible physical manifestations, but nothing confirmed. And seeing some of the things I have seen, I do think some of them, like the Fae, occasionally still do. But they tend to not try to let us know about it. I know dragons don't. I know that for a fact. And well, honestly, if dragons were to manifest physically, well, we'd know about it, because wherever they manifested would cease to exist. But yeah, it's one of those things where it is a hard one, Blake. I do think that definitely they did at one point, and I understand why they pulled away. Sad, but I understand. But when it comes to do they occasionally sneak in, I like to think they do. I have no way to prove, disprove they do or don't, but I like to think they do. What do you about Azazel? If that means, what do I know about Azazel? I enjoy working with him. I know he is an entity that is very good at creating change and likes to focus on self-empowerment and self-mastery. He's not really big on doing things for you. That's actually a great way to upset him, because he's not really big on handouts. He wants to empower you. And if he has to do it for you, you're not doing the lifting. You're not powerful. You're just sitting there waiting for a handout. But he is a fantastic entity to work with. I believe we've already done a video on him here on the channel at least once, and there probably will be follow-up videos on him in the future. See, Luna, for $1,000, one by one, it better for be an OnlyFans of coffee permanent stream, just photos of coffee cups. Oh Lord, Luna, you're crazy. Well, they didn't leave the multiverse. They left the physical plane. That's the difference. The question was dealing with them manifesting in the physical, fully on the physical plane. That was the question. They left the physical plane and stopped manifesting in full physical on the physical plane. So they didn't leave the multiverse. Thank God, because if they left the multiverse, we'd be in a world of hurt. But by and large, let's just say humans were stupid. We screwed up. We did a lot of stupid stuff, and we gave them reason to withdraw from the physical plane for their well being and ours. And that's one of the reasons they do seek to help us to grow, because they are helping us to grow past our infancy and become a much more mature race and hopefully reach the potential we're capable of and not end up being stupid. Which there was a point in my life where I said the entities were crazy for having faith in us. And most people could probably turn on the news and they'd probably agree with me back then. But here's the thing. Since starting teaching magic, I've changed my opinion. I meet a lot of people. Some people will never change. But the majority of the people I meet in teaching magic and talking to from all walks of life, all religions, all backgrounds, the majority of them amaze me at how far they can grow, how far they can change when just the littlest push or shove or even the littlest belief in them is shown. And that to me is freaking amazing. So I actually now understand why these entities do have faith in us. Will they ever come back? I don't know. Part of me thinks not. I actually suspect they're waiting for us to reach the point in our evolution where we ourselves leave the physical plane. But at this time, there is no discussion of them ever coming back. Yeah, there are entities that do manipulate and move physical objects, but they're not on the physical plane still. Therein is a separator. And yes, the Fae are absolutely wonderful for hiding things. Which reminds me, I finally got my notebooks back from the Fae Queens. Yay! So I can get back to work on that. Cheryl, he's hard to offend. He really is, so don't worry there. If you haven't already, Cheryl, do check out the Azazel video. I have been getting a lot of questions about Azazel, and him and I have sat down and chatted about doing more videos or topics on him. We've even discussed an entire path working or meditations based around some of his teachings and how we might do those. So hopefully we will have more videos coming in with Azazel at front and center, because he's had a big effect on my life. Really great guy. I've really enjoyed having him around as a friend and ally. Well, Shujim, what do I think about today's society? Well, first off, I make a rule not to get political on this channel, just so we're clear on that. But I think we are at a transition period in our growth, and I think we are experiencing growing pains on a spiritual and energetic level. And I do believe that what is happening right now is a part of that growth and change. Many options and pathways forward are open. The question is, what pathway will humans as a whole take? I also do think we're a bit too divided as a species. So that's the best answer I can give you, because I'm not going to get political here. See, cloud gazing, but Drake, what did humans do to make entities leave the physical plane? It's never been 100% made clear, cloud gazing. Something happened that endangered some, not all the entities, but some, and also endangered humans to extinction. And it was more us they were worried about in the long run because humans do have a potential, and our adaptability and our potential for um, balance and manipulation of energies throughout the multiverse gives many entities a lot of hope for us and what we can do. So our extinction is something they would like to avoid if possible. As far as the details on it, I've not been able to find out. I'm still digging. Hopefully one day I'll know the exact details. Well, I don't know if that's a hopefully or not. I may find out and be depressed, but I would still like to know. Yeah, he can show up a bit scary from time to time. He actually showed up once to me as Tim Curry's devil, which I didn't find scary. I found it more laughable. Um, but then again, I tend not to scare easy, but that's just what that is. But he does tend to occasionally spook people. It happens. Let's see what we got here. We're getting closer to the end. I'm actually glad to hear you guys were excited about the adjustments we're going to be doing to the live classes, because that is something we've been wanting to get back into the swing of, and running the channel and everything. Travel is just not an option. And well, people just aren't doing the events they used to. So we'll see what we can do. Let's see. Angelo. Hi, Drake. My question is about the Fae. I had experience a year ago where I was seeing and hearing what I believed was a Fae. I only physically saw its shadow. Um, yeah, I mean it's very possible. People end up seeing the shadows of Fae quite often. Fae are one of the most active entities within the physical plane. Um, and they can manipulate the physical plane without themselves being physical. So Fae are, yeah, they're tricksy lot. That is a very high probability. But unfortunately, there's not enough details to say what entity it was. But Fae is a high probability for sure. Let's see, Blake, thanks. Would a ghost and vampire be considered in between both? I've seen people in paranormal communities say vampires still exist here. Ghosts are spirits of humans that have crossed over. They can draw energy and manifest optically, but not physically. So there is a difference in physical and apparitions, even if they're ocularly visible. But that is definitely, they count as entities, but they are still earthbound spirits that have crossed over. Most ghosts haven't moved on. They're still here. And some ghosts that have moved on still do manifest here by choice. Maybe they're watching after an area, person, something like that. Your bitter, vengeful spirits, the ones that tend to get, well, they're the ones that get blamed for all the demon activity. Those are all human spirits that are just, they were dicks in life, they're dicks in death. Um, and they are more bound to the earth. They're not physical, but they can manifest and cause issues. As to the vampires, that's a tricky one. There is a vampire community. Actually, there's a few of them, and there are different philosophies on the vampire community. Perhaps the most well known one is the modern vampire community, which was founded in the late 70s, early 80s, in which Michelle Belanger, who is the author of the Psychic Vampire Codex. And honestly, if you're interested in real world vampires, I would actually recommend her book. It's one of the better written ones and very respectful. But she was one of the early founders of the modern vampire community. Now, the general consensus is a vampire does not drink blood. They are not immortal. They are not all these things that you see in the movie. They are, by and large, simply an individual. For whatever reason, their body doesn't produce all the energy that it needs to sustain itself, this way most people do. So they have to draw energy from their environment around you. Usually, this is ambient energy. If you look at an aura, you can actually watch the aura's energy radiate out and then break off. If you've ever seen oil pull out on water, on the surface of water, how those little globules will break off the main pool, kind of like that. And they will draw that energy that is not attached to any person, but is still human energy because it's now ambient in the environment. And they'll use that to make up the differential for the energy that they don't produce naturally. This is far better explained in Michelle's book. She does a much better job of explaining it, and I do highly recommend her book. And I have been getting a lot of questions about vampires, but I try to be very respectful of it. And there are people in the modern community who has made it into a mockery. And then there are people who have taken the fictional archetype of a vampire and, let's just be honest, they've done some horrible things. Horrible things. I grew up in Kentucky, and I can think of one SOB from Kentucky who drove to Florida, and he's just a horrible person. So there is that, and I would highly recommend her book. And I think I might actually do a review on her book because I would like to try and bring some respectful viewpoints to the vampire community without a lot of this. Now, you do also have a group known as the Temple of the Vampire. They're more vampiric magicians. They have no need of energy, but they still use rituals and stuff. And there's a lot of people who find it very disrespectful what they do. And they tend to have an elitist, we are the only vampires that exist, blah, blah, blah attitude. Now, as far as their rituals, their practice, if they're not hurting anyone, they can do what they want. Y'all know I'm not a big fan of elitist attitudes anyway. So that's kind of a turnoff for me. And some of the disrespectful things they've done to other communities, that's a turnoff for me. Though I will have to state this, I have met individuals within that community that are very kind, very respectful, very caring. I wish I could say it for the larger community that I've met in that grouping. So it is a much broader, much larger topic than a simple answer there, Blake. I hope that helps you a little bit, though. And definitely do check out Michelle Bellinger's book. It's a really good one. She does a good job. Is it possible to convince a being to appear in the physical realm to prove to society and the world it's real? Nope. They don't give one rat's rump what you think. They have no need to prove themselves, and they really do not care. And if you're only trying to get them to appear to prove they exist, that's an ego thing. And they're not big on ego. They want you to master yourself. They have no need to prove themselves. Well, if it was a fae, even the dark fae aren't evil. Misunderstood, malicious. Yeah, they can be malicious. But it's more of a mischievous that just it's a harsh mischievous that humans don't understand. But they're not evil. And then of course you got the Seelie fae who they're mischievous as hell too. People's like they're the nice ones. No, they're not. They come across nicer and sweeter than the Unseelie, but they're just as dangerous. In fact, I would even argue they're more dangerous because you meet the Unseelie, that's a dark fae. You know a dark fae when you see a dark fae. You know to be cautious, You see a light fae, they sweet, they cute, they innocent. They're like that girl that, she's nice, she's sweet, she's cute. She ain't no danger. You're having a cup of coffee. Next thing you know, she hits you with a cast iron skillet. You didn't see it coming. I would argue the Seelie are the more dangerous because you don't see it coming. but they're all great to work with. I really do enjoy working with the Fae. All seriousness. Okay, yep. We got about 5 minutes left, Blake. So yeah, I'll take your question. We'll get ready to wrap up here. Let's see. Thank you. Last question. What about voodoo zombie magic? You always informative. Let's see how I can answer this. Okay, yeah, I can answer this. So within the voodoo practice, the ideal of zombies is definitely something that's there, especially heavy within Haitian voodoo. And for those Haitian voodoo practitioners, I ain't giving secrets away. Don't come at me, bro. But it's not zombies in the context of like, what's that zombie? Well, not Evil Dead. Well, there were zombies in Evil Dead at some point. Night of the Living Dead, Resident Evil, the video game. Or The Walking Dead. How can I forget that one? Is that show still running? I don't know. That's the most modern one I can think of. But they're not undead, reanimated corpses in that context. As I understand it, as I've learned from many voodoo practitioners in discussions, it's more of a living person who control and mindlessness through dark magics has been achieved. So a person essentially has a sort of mindlessness control over them. And that is where essentially what a zombie is. And the exact formula, which is more of an alchemical process, and it deals with something they actually have to drink. That would be the biggest secret. And a lot of people, there's a lot of people who theorize how that would be made, but no one really knows outside of those particular practices. And it's actually pretty much looked down upon. And honestly, yeah, you wouldn't want to do it. And there's even actually a lot of side effects that are dangerous to the magician who does it. So you also got to consider that too. So there is a basis for it, but it's not the undead zombie hordes that people know from horror and fiction. It's a different situation. Night Cloud Gazing, take it easy. All right, everyone, we are going to get ready to wrap up here. I thank you all for joining me. We will continue to be doing the vlogs since those have been a hit. You guys are loving those, so we will continue those. Of course, we do have a new video coming Tuesday, and well, don't forget Sunday, Magical Coffee Hour. We'll be back here live, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to have a few more chats, answer some questions. In the weekend on a high note, hopefully, which does mean, of course, everybody have a great weekend. It's a Memorial Day weekend. I know people's going to be out there having fun, enjoying. Stay safe. Please stay safe. I know it gets crazy out there. People do stupid stuff. Try not to be the cause of the stupid, okay? Do stay safe. But also remember why we celebrate Memorial Day and try to do something to remember those who have fallen, those who have gone before us, okay? A little something, even if it's just lighting a candle for them, a little something, it's a great thing to do. But yeah, try and have a wonderful weekend. Kamei, welcome. I am so sorry you made it late. Hopefully you can catch us Sunday. You just got to make it an hour earlier. And, because we'd definitely love to see you in the chats and answer some questions, Kamei. Always good to see new people in here. Actually, I think you've been here before. I think you're just late today. But that's okay. Hey, at least you can make it and say hi. So mugs up to you, Kamei. We'll go ahead and give you a mugs up since you got here. That reminds me, I'm kind of curious if my coffee company watches my channel. I got an order from them, and they actually wrote on the little order slip, "Mugs up, Drake." And I'm like, is that a coincidence, or did they watch my channel? What's going on here? I think it was a coincidence, but either way, it was cool. It freaked me out earlier this week. randomness in my life that happened. Sorry, rabbit trail. Oops, squirrel. Let's see. So, yeah, all right, everyone. I'm going to hop off here. You all have a wonderful evening. Have a great and safe weekend. Whatever you're doing this weekend, stay safe and have fun doing it. Laughing my ass off. They should sponsor you. Oh dear, you guys, I would freaking fangirl if they sponsored me. You don't know. You just don't know. I would lose my shit over that. That would freak me out. That would be freaking amazing if that happened. So Iron Bean Coffee, if by chance you are watching these and you do see me, if you want to see me make a complete goof of myself and like, give me a sponsorship. I guarantee you I would not maintain my cool at that point. All right, everyone, you have a great evening. And join me back here Sunday for a few more laughs and we'll answer some questions. Stay safe out there. Good night.